Hi, my name is Matthew Pejkovic of matsmoviereviews.net, and this is my review of The Dilemma. The Dilemma is director Ron Howard's first foray into comedy since EdTV, and that was back in 1999. Despite starting out as a comedic director, he did films such as Splash and Mr. Mum. Howard's bread and butter has been in drama. He did films such as Apollo 13, Cinderella Man, and the Oscar winner A Beautiful Mind. Howard's return to the genre that made him isn't exactly a triumphant return, but it's not a bust either. That is less due to Howard's directing and more due to the good acting here by his cast, an eclectic mix of dramatic and comedic actors who come together to create a interesting dynamic. If the Dilemma's origins were purely dramatic, it would make a lot of sense to me. It was scripted by Alan Loeb. He did the scripts for Wall Street, Money Never Sleeps, and Things We Lost in the Fire. And many of its dramatic elements actually work better than its comedic elements, which, although not something that would bode well for those who want their comedy to be throughout, it is actually a surprise for those who expected totally something different as seen in a trailer. The Dilemma doesn't start off very well. A dinner conversation which seems very contrived, very fake, about who to trust, and the change of personality of people just seems really obvious and really clunky. And then there's a following sequence as well where Kevin James and Vince Vaughn do this embarrassing kind of shindig dance, which just doesn't begin the film in the best foot. Vaughn and Kevin James play best buddies Ronnie and Nick. They are car engineers who score a massive business deal with a big auto company after they pitch this innovative idea of getting an electric car by giving an electric car the look, the feel, and the sound of an authentic muscle car. So they have another chance to pitch it to even bigger boss. The pressure is high, a deadline is looming, but a spanner is thrown into the works when Ronnie sees Nick's wife, played by Winona Ryder, cheating with another guy, played by Channing Tatum. And thus comes the dilemma from the title. Should Ronnie tell his friend that his wife is messing around with another man, thus railroading their chances of scoring this big business proposition? Or does he go it alone and try to rectify the situation? For those who guessed the latter, a big pat in the back for you. Despite the potential for some risky material, Howard doesn't push the dilemma that far off its safe route. This is a morally infused story about secrets, lies, and friendship, and is hardly worth the controversy seen a few months ago, where in the trailer it shows Vince Vaughn using the word gay in a negative context. Often Howard squanders opportunity, especially in the casting of Channing Tatum. You can really see that Tatum was going for kind of like what Mark Wahlberg has been doing with his comic work of late, of the tough guy who's kind of sensitive, but Tatum just doesn't have the chops to pull it off. In fact, if Howard cast Mark Wahlberg in that Tatum role, that role would be much better portrayed, and the film would be benefited because of it. What does work is the casting of Vince Vaughn. He takes the film and he runs with it. He gives it a spark, he gives it some momentum. He comfortably takes control of the film, and he does really well with his kind of stream of conscious style ramblings, which is kind of like his thing. Another thing that he does really well is the speech. As seen in Wedding Crashers and Old School, he does these wedding speeches, and he does a similar thing here, which is both humiliating and embarrassing, but is actually quite funny as well. Other cast members also contribute. It is great to see Winona Ryder in the big film. She did Black Swan last year, but she was only on screen for maybe maximum 5-10 minutes. Here she is in a big film, in a juicy role, and Kevin James is pretty good as well. His film work has been varied, especially the stuff Adam Sandler hasn't been that great, but here actually plays pretty good running mates to Vince Vaughn. In fact, it's the relationship between the Vince Vaughn character and Kevin James character which gives this film heart, which it has a lot of. But only next time maybe it should go for some more genuine laughs to mix with its drama. That was my review of The Dilemma. If you want to read more reviews, check out interviews, news, trailers, and my top 10, please head over to www.matsmoviereviews.net. Thanks.